In this video, I want to tell you my 3 favorite reasons why a whole food plant-based diet is the best for your health, whether it's maintaining your health or repairing your health. So today we're going to be talking about the benefits of a whole food plant-based diet. But before we do that, I just want to remind you to stay to the end because I'm going to answer the question, are there any healthy processed foods? Okay, so let's get started. My first favorite reason why you should eat a plant-based diet is because you know what you're getting. There's no ingredient list and you know exactly what you're getting, and therefore there's no worry if what you're eating can harm you. Of course, you know, there's a lot of people out there that have food allergies and food intolerances, and there's a lot of talk on whether we should eat grains or not eat grains, and a lot of arguments about that stuff. But really, I believe that's because people have poor digestion and some people can't tolerate grains, but that doesn't mean that they're not healthy for you. We need to repair our gut, which is a huge problem for most people. And then I think, and I do personally believe, grains are healthy. But I know this is a topic of discussion, and I know there's a lot of people that don't do well with them, and then you shouldn't eat them because you should listen to your body. But in general, when you eat whole foods, you know what you're getting, and this is a plus because that can't be said when you're eating processed foods unless you read the ingredients. So before I go on, I just want to say thank you to all of you who have subscribed. And if you haven't, please subscribe if you've learned anything from my videos. Thank you so much. Okay, reason number 2. When you eat a whole food plant-based diet, you have a naturally low-fat diet. And that's really key because you don't have to count calories, you don't have to figure out how much fat you're getting. If you eat a varied diet, like all kinds of fruits and all kinds of veggies and a handful of nuts and seeds and some grains every day, you're getting everything you need. I definitely believe food is medicine, but it's only that way if you eat a nice variation of all the foods. So if you do that and you don't have to worry about what you're eating, whether it's counting calories or how much of fat you're getting in something or how much protein you're getting in something, it takes a big stress off your shoulders. And eating a low-fat diet is really important. I know it's popular out there right now to eat a high-fat keto diet, but I am not a believer in that diet. So I just want to tell you that I stand for a low-fat vegan or plant-based diet. And the reason I say that is because over the last 25 years seeing clients, I look at their blood work, and I rarely come across a client that has healthy cardiovascular function because their LDL, which is your bad cholesterol level, is always above 100. And it should be as low as possible, below 80 if possible. And I never see that. It's really hard to do that and have any fat in your diet. So to me, if you eat the natural foods in their whole food state, like, okay, avocados and a few nuts and seeds, but I'm going to tell you that even people that eat like that could have a high LDL because maybe of 20 years of how they ate before that. So you should always do your blood work and look at your numbers. And if your numbers tell you that you can afford to put a little fat in your diet, then you can. And if your numbers tells you that you can't, then you should lower the fat in your diet, because I think it's not an argument until we look at our blood work, right? So many people are arguing keto, okay, not fat, high fat, low fat. But I think we should just have a study where we follow people on a keto diet for 20 years. I think you'd be really surprised what you learn and what you see. Things can work in the short term, but in the long run, I already can tell you what's going to happen. So that's my number 2 benefit, is that you get to eat a naturally low-fat diet in a very easy way without having to calculate anything. And reason number 3, you get to acquire a taste for the natural, tremendous flavors in real whole food. So many people really don't know what peas taste like, how sweet they are, or carrots. And I know our food isn't grown that great these days, but still, when you use packaged food or you're eating out all the time, you're getting a whole bunch of chemicals and processed ingredients and flavorings and artificial food colorings, and people have lost touch with the real flavor of food. So when you eat a whole food, plant-based vegan diet, you get to all the natural flavors that are just out there in nature in these beautiful foods. And then you can take all of these amazing flavors and put them together to create an amazing recipe. And it can be low fat or no fat, and you can fill it with spices and all the different ingredients, and you can create this most amazing dish. Watch Soul Canyon Kitchen recipes and you'll see. But anyways, you guys, honestly, I think when you eat like that, you learn to cook because you want to be in control of what's in your food. When you eat out at a restaurant or you buy something in a package or frozen, look at the ingredient list. So many people don't look, but I will bet you that there's more than 10 ingredients. And sometimes there's more than 20, and I will bet you there's at least a few you can't even pronounce. And if that's the case, you shouldn't be putting it in your body. And you never add that stuff when you're cooking yourself. You're using natural herbs and spices and whole food ingredients. So once you learn to love that flavor and then you cook for yourself, you can't even eat that other stuff, I promise. Okay, so now let me answer the question, are there any healthy processed foods? Actually, I believe there are. My rule that I like to apply to my own self is the more a food is in its whole food state, the better it is. But there are some healthy choices out there. Like, for example, let's take oats. When you have oats whole, that's not how we have our oatmeal for most people. They're milled into a flat flake, and I believe they're still really healthy and filled with all kind of benefits. How about yogurt? Okay, so yogurt is made, usually it's made from coconut meat, and then we add probiotics to it, so there is a processing there. What about milks, like plant-based milks, like hemp milk and almond milk and soy milk? Okay, it starts with the bean or the seed, and then they process it into the milk. But if you make your own milks, you'll see when you process it, it's super simple, and it's still 1 or 2 ingredients. So that's really the key. Like, take grains. If you take a whole grain like a wheat or a millet and you put it in a blender and you make it into flour, or you take a cashew and you make it into flour or cream by adding water to it, you're still processing these whole food ingredients, but it's minimal processing. Do you see what I mean? So the answer is there are some healthy foods out there that have very minimal processing, and I believe life is a balance. And of course, the sicker you are, the more extreme your diet needs to be. But if you're just trying to maintain a healthy balance, then I think you can allow yourself a treat to eat out. Life is still a balance, and to me, if you're in that position where your health is okay and your blood work tells you that you can do that, then I say, you know, give yourself a treat once in a while. But it's kind of like the 90-10 rule. If 90% of the time you're eating whole food, plant-based vegan diet, then you're going to be pretty healthy, I guarantee it. All right, you guys, if you like this video, then be sure and watch my others.